Today's presentation will be also a bit non-technical, except of the questions, I hope so. But yeah, today we'll be talking about future of gaming in blockchain. And I will be very short, it's uncertain. So that's it, you can go. I mean, really, regarding all the regulations and everything that's happening in blockchain world, all the discouragement that most of the companies have during their transition from gaming to crypto, because that should be a natural way of natural order. I think that companies who try to get into crypto by any means and use it, even if it's not necessary, is making a big mistake. Because the thing is gaming, future of gaming, not future of blockchain, future of gaming in blockchain. Gaming is oriented to players, not to technology. Gaming is driven by user needs. So I'm in gaming like 8 years, name is there, so I don't repeat it. In blockchain almost 4. And before that, I was in accounting. So totally different expertise and area of work. And in accounting, you have clients, you have obligations to them, they're asking you, and you need to give support and everything. And when I get into gaming, that was fabulous. I mean, you have satisfactory clients, you have people who love your games, you get cheers all the way, people love every new stuff that you put into game. Nobody complains. Nobody asks you to do anything with their account, with their money. And then the blockchain kicks in. So now everybody is trying to move all the money from gaming into blockchain and to avoid regulations, especially ones with gambling. Okay, so let's get back to the basic. This is a little bit war between game developers and blockchain developers. Game developers want everything to be smooth. They want to have a good UX, UI, they want to have everything towards the player, they want to have all the games done so people love playing them. And in blockchain, developers, everything wants to be secure. So all the things that happening during the gaming is kind of stopped because it needs some verification in the background. So we try to avoid that in few projects that we've done so far, and it's working. It's working, but I get too much complaints from crypto world that we are not utilizing the blockchain as it should be. Who can tell what's the right way to use it? Right way to use it if it works in your business. If you can utilize it and people love to use it in that way, then that's it. It doesn't have to be everything on the blockchain. Some things can be in your app, some things can be in your game. You don't need to store all the data inside the chain. I mean, not but just what's necessary, but what's okay for the user. If he is purchasing items, if he is trading inside the game, if he is earning inside the game, and if he's playing versus another players, history can be in blockchain, not his every move. That's bring you back to strategic games. If you do that, every game will be party of chess in one way or another. But if you want to have action games, if you want to have games that people actually love to play, like mobile games and everything you do now, utilizing blockchain in this way that is working right now is very problematic. Speed, regulations, and mostly the way the developers are not speaking the same language. I mean, not like Russian, English or things. They use the same code, similar code, but the terminology is not the same. For example, if you told to game developer team to make a turn-based game, game is his mind is one 3 to 5 minutes gameplay between two players. That's in his mind is a game. In mind of blockchain developer, game is a record that's holding the data about that game. And that sometimes is not right because that whole data about the game can be tournament. In game developer, that's like 10 or 15 games, one after another, depending on each other. In blockchain world, that's one record, or maybe few sometimes. So terminology between these two dev teams is something that you really need to take care if you want to get into this business. As we had most of the problems while developing games because terminology between two teams. So be very careful about how they understand things. I hated myself. I hated stand-up meetings before when I was in dev teams because that was like waste of time. Why do everybody needs to know what I do? It needs to be done. But now we tend to do it twice a day. It's not stand-ups, it's sit-ups, it's online, but everybody needs to know what other part of the teams are doing. And that's one of the ways to be aligned and have product ever, because otherwise you will be stuck in some point where you cannot get back, you don't have money for development, and the product is way far away from done. Okay, so ownership in gaming. Do we need to own everything? I mean, if you make a game that you can own and can sell and have all the rights and everything on chain, this will happen. I mean, in the middle of your game, your opponent will buy your item, or if the market is not distinguished from the game itself, eventually you will get to the point where in your mid-game you will lose some item that you need. And that happened a few times because that was the request of the game itself from investor. Not actually this, something else happened, but generally if you give players ability to do whatever they want with their characters and items, it seems good for them, but eventually you will have more problems than solutions with that. Okay, so how to avoid this? We had huge expansion of NFTs, and that was a hype for a few months, and now it's a little bit like forgotten. But in my opinion, if you use them correctly, it could help gaming industry a lot. Not just by making clubs or making ability to be able to play the game in the first place, but ability to use them in game where they could be beneficial and not essential for the gaming. How do I mean that? So, Sword shouldn't be NFT. that is a problem from this point because you cannot control who will own it and who can use it. But his wardrobe, his boots or things that the user can purchase inside the game and make his character unique, that can be NFT. That can be beneficial for you as a developer to have some revenue and have some trades and to keep up developing the game further. So by relating every aspect of the game to things that are tradable, you are starting to be paid to win. I mean, that's the worst thing that you can do in your game. Players hate games that are paid to win. That works only in real life, in real wars. But in gaming, paid to win is really the worst thing that you can do, and most complaints are coming from that point. Okay, next thing, as I said at the beginning, regulations. Regulation is something that is killing the industry. So every game developer is certain that there are two bad options for this game: to not succeed and to succeed with the game. Because if you not succeed, you mostly spend somebody else's money, investors mostly, or in worst case yours, like our first game, but don't mind that. And even worse is to succeed with your game, and then you will have SEC and all the regulations around jumping by your neck because for sure you didn't spend 1/2 of the money for legals before you released your game, to be sure that you didn't do a pre-sale, that you didn't do inside trading by selling your tokens, that you checked everybody who bought your tokens if they are not from US and they have ability to check for money laundering and everything else that is happening in our world. But more and more regulations basically is thing that is discouraging developers to move into this blockchain world. And hopefully if we try to use the blockchain inside games for some things that are not related with the gaming itself, but as meme tokens for support of the team, as NFTs, as loyal clubs, as things that are not strictly related to the income of the game, then you can avoid this problem of becoming a target for checks that always ends up bad for you. Another thing that we really want to try to say, because gambling in this business is like default. Anybody who wants to play via crypto is assuming that that is some kind of gambling. So how to avoid that? Your game shouldn't be depending on any luck. So everything where a dice is involved in most countries in Europe is considered gambling. So Ludo game, for example, is considered gambling. You are throwing the dice, and regarding that you are advancing in the game. So only games that are strictly related to your skills are not considered gaming anywhere in the world. Unfortunately, games that are depending on your skills are the action games where you need to perform actions, and those actions need to be rather fast. And again, with blockchain, if they are fast, they are not secure. So balancing that will be the most challenging thing in the future for game developers and who wants to utilize blockchain there. Okay, so variety and NFTs that I mentioned earlier. Do we really need like thousands of different images? You know, like spending tens of dollars to make 10,000 different characters. That could work if everything is unique. Then the price can go up for them. But if you have one item that is replicated many times and people can own that, I mean, in Tetris, everybody has squares. Nobody has different shapes. So all the player items inside the games are same for people. So let's try to use NFTs in the same way. People can have same instance of the item, and that shouldn't be a problem in gaming. Only thing is that NFTs now could be owned by many people, can be shredded, can be joined, and that is a little bit complication for backend programmers, but well, that makes games more interesting for sure. So as I said at the beginning, it's uncertain what will happen in gaming industry, and it mostly depends on all the regulations that we'll see in the future. It will depend how much game teams who are already developing games will embrace crypto, and that will not happen if we have so much problems with it. But fortunately, there are companies now that we heard them a few talks before that are offering all the legal support, and they are taking the burden of your team, and you can concentrate on what's really interesting, creating games, which should be the fun part for you and for your players. And when it came to crypto, it started becoming a pain. But fortunately, what's happening currently with some projects will offer us as game developers a way to utilize crypto as it should be. So just taking good sides of it and avoiding all the problems. And that's mostly it. So, questions? Thanks. Sorry, any game developers in the room? We'll see. Always hiring.
Yes, so you mentioned the dilemma between how to make games on blockchain and distinguish it from gambling, like from financial provider perspective. Any game that has money in, money out, they consider it like gambling. Like on the other hand, like in Saudi Arabia, they're very bullish on gaming and on blockchain, but how to create like gaming on blockchain that is still halal for Saudi users?
By game on blockchain, you mean that it utilizes money or it utilizes blockchain as a technology? Okay, for example, if you don't utilize money from blockchain cryptocurrencies for payments in and out, you can utilize blockchain for keeping the scores, for keeping the history, how the user player, how there was matched inside the game, to make public thing that somebody's high score is really his, when he started playing, when he ended playing, how many moves he make. So high scores will be secure and representing the real players who really play the game, and you can see the history of his playing inside. That's kind of one way of doing that. Second way, how to make it halal for Saudi Arabia is, as I mentioned, not to relate gaming itself, the game itself, with crypto. So with crypto, you can buy a meme token to support the team, and it will be kind of related with your project, but it's not utilized inside the project. So then the game itself will not be affected by do users buy or sell the tokens, the meme tokens or NFTs, so they were aside. Second thing, how you can utilize crypto in gaming, by my view, is all the transactions which are paid in or out inside fiat or gold, whatever you can pay inside gaming, can be reflected inside the blockchain. So you can have reflection of fiat payment inside, and just to be proving that some user won the reward, that the reward is paid to him, that he bought some items inside the game. So as a proof of ownership and proof of on game markets for items selling. That's, for example, one of the great example that you can sell and buy items related to a game, like collectibles, like we once collected stickers or figures from gaming. Now we can do that via NFTs and make clubs of your users of your game. And actually, one of the biggest income from gaming is selling items in game that doesn't have anything with the gameplay. For example, we've done the goal shooting for football player, and changing his wardrobe inside the game was a purchasable item on stores, and people was buying that. It doesn't affecting the gaming at all. He will not shoot better, he will not be faster, but he will carry the jersey of his favorite team. And people are willing to pay for that a lot. So that's way how you can use it and not affecting the game, so it's not gambling because it's not affecting the gameplay itself.
One more question?
Yep. We keep it short.
What platform would you recommend to start on? So like we have consoles, we have mobile, we have the web. So what platform would be the best to start on to, let's say, build a smaller project that is like a game that has some functionality on the Web3?
Okay. Now, the colleague will hate me. Desktop, web. It works everywhere. It works on web, it works on mobile phones if you adjust it well. You can wrap it via Electron into some app that will work on Mac, on Linux, on Windows, or wherever. And it can be secure. There are various libraries that can track that nobody is messing with your console, with your data, with your input. So it's not insecure as it was previously, especially if you're not tightly related with actions during the game. So that's easiest thing, and you have like tons of ready games with source code that you can learn gaming. And for example, Flappy Bird, you know everybody about Flappy Bird game. That's like under 50 lines of code in Unity, and that's how simple it is. So if anybody likes gaming, like to try gaming, you have contact, please contact me. I will give you all the libraries that we use so you can start your journey in gaming. Thank you again. Okay, see you.